Hey there, football fanatics. Welcome to Plug and Play, your ultimate NFL podcast with Daniel and Sean. Here to dissect the game from a unique angle, whether it's discussing the latest news or breaking down the stats that make the difference between winners and losers. Check out Plug and Play, your new favorite NFL podcast.
Welcome to Plug and Play Football Podcast. I'm Daniel. I'm here with Sean, expert from the Plug and Play Football Podcast. And we're kind of late 2 weeks into the season, but we can give our thoughts with our small power rankings and the beginning of the season, which was kind of crazy injury wise. And let me know what you think for the start of the season so far. 2 weeks.
Some things, of course, injuries. Those are always going to be the talk of the town. We're seeing
Let me
people get hurt.
interject for a second. Is it like too much than the previous season? It's just like every week, two, three, one of the top guys of the team, or it's just the usual stuff?
To me, it's usual. It's just a matter of who is it going to be and how long, what team. It happens. It's just nobody's really expecting it in a way because they're never going to think it's going to be our team, you know, because literally it's really maybe baseball too. The NFL is really like the only sport where you can honestly come into the year and say, you know what, we have a chance. You never know. So, hey, a break here, a break there, anything can happen. So yeah, injuries, they always happen. They're just unexpected of who's going to happen to and how's this going to affect everybody else. Because it's always a trickle down effect. It affects every team differently.
So the last one was from Dallas, right?
As in terms of out for the year, yes. Trayvon Diggs, their star cornerback, and depending on who you ask, best defensive player on their team. I think most would probably say number two or number three. But yeah, out for the year
Do you
towards
think
ACL in practice.
do you think it affects their contending?
Yeah, because one of the biggest reasons why I think they were considered to contend is because their defense was so elite. And what helped being that elite was Trayvon Diggs, his ability not necessarily to cover, but to scare QBs with any time they throw, it could be picked off. That dude was just a ball hawk. Wherever the ball was, he was normally around it. So for Dallas to lose that is a major blow, especially when you think about having to probably deal with Jalen Hurts in that passing offense in the NFC, or having to deal with the Niners with um, Ayuk and Dabo or Debo.
You
So can they still go far? Possibly, but I think this decreases the chances.
Yeah, Jerry Jones came out and gave all the credit to Mick McCarthy. Defense and how he set up the team on the training camp before the season, and it was like his famous, like you said, press conferences after the games. He's the only one, right? Owner that does that.
For the most part, yeah. But
Mm.
I do. Well, let me ask you then. So, your predictions: did the Cowboys, did this injury affect, or has any injury so far? Because I haven't seen your predictions. Has any injury so far affected your preseason predictions?
For the Super Bowl or just like overall predictions, what I was playoff wise and stuff like that.
Just overall, because we're going to do our predictions
Yeah,
too about,
The Browns definitely.
with
The
Chubb.
with Chubb, yeah, that's like devastating. I won't say Rodgers. Maybe at the second place, Rodgers. I still think he has some gas left in the tank to bring them like 10 to not 11 wins just by himself. But yeah, Chubb was big because Chubb was great last few years. Uh, Gladly I missed him on the fantasy. Sadly for him too, but they were in my opinion very dangerous team if everybody clicked. To me, it depended on Watson if he can like get back through the season to the Watson from the Texans. I thought like they could be the team that can knock down Chiefs and maybe steal one Super Bowl out of their media. How they call this? They gave them the dynasty tag already. So yeah, definitely the Browns. Then I'll take the Rodgers, and I feel like Cowboys still have a lot of weapons, so I think they're gonna still be in play with the Niners and who did we say else in the AFC? Eagles, my bad. NFC.
Well, did you want to get into our predictions?
Okay.
I'm asking. All right. So, who do you have for NFL MVP?
And this is a difficult one. How many times? I'm just asking. Can we get a running back for MVP? When's the last time running back won MVP?
I think it was Derrick Henry.
Yeah,
I
and
gotta
that's
look.
like a few years ago. A few years ago, probably. But
And if it wasn't
yeah,
him, then there was Adrian Peterson when he came back. Let me
from the
look.
injury, the only one.
Yeah, Adrian Peterson was the last one. Wow.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah, it rarely happens.
Man, this is actually a difficult question. Like in NBA, you only have 3 or 4 guys. And this one is difficult. But I'll say, I know I'm gonna sound crazy. I don't know if everybody picked any of them. I'll say Tua or Tyreek, but it's a QB award, of course. I'll say Tua.
All right.
Am I crazy? Am I crazy?
I can't call you crazy because it's the NFL. Anything could happen.
Okay. Well, that's why I love it.
But I see you rolling with Tua, so that's gonna be interesting. So you're
It's a
fully
regular
on
season
board.
award. It's a regular season award, of course, right?
Yeah, but you're fully
Yeah,
on
that's what.
board with the Dolphins.
Yeah, Dolphins are stepping now into the Browns position, in my opinion. They're becoming that dangerous team that could knock off one of the bigs, especially the Chiefs. They're now stepping into that position quietly, but with caution, of course, with injuries last season too, concussions and everything. Everything, of course, anything can happen, but they were the most impressive team with Dallas, in my opinion, the first 2 weeks.
So I'm rolling with Justin Jefferson, the wide receiver for the Vikings for MVP, and I'm rolling with him
Vikings are
because.
0-2.
But this is my preseason pick. This is
Oh,
before. I'm not changing my picks. I'm rolling with the punches.
that's why I have an easy route. I have 2 weeks ahead. Yeah, I have
And the
two
reason
weeks
I
ahead.
said Jefferson is because I knew they got rid of Dalvin Cook, so I knew they wasn't going to be able to run the ball. Jefferson went crazy last year, and Minnesota's going to throw the ball even more this year. And I feel like he's probably going to break some records this year receiving. So that's why I had him as MVP. But yeah, based on the way things look right now for Minnesota, yeah, it's not looking good. But maybe I should have known better. So let's get into the playoffs. For the AFC, who do you have in the AFC Championship game?
That's like conference finals, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I gotta go with the Chiefs and the Dolphins.
Look at you riding it
I
out with
was,
the Dolphins.
yeah, I have to. Phrase will hate me. Sorry, Phrase. But Chaos will love me if he listens to this. Bengals are on 2. They were on 2 last season. They made to the playoffs.
In the
Jags,
championship game, almost a Super
yeah,
Bowl.
yeah, almost Super Bowl. But this season, I'm not sure they can do it again. Jaguars don't look good to me at all, even in the first win and the second loss. Who else do we have actually worth mentioning? Browns are done unless Kareem Hunt turns into the Rams. Kareem Hunt, was he with the Rams? No, Chiefs. Kareem Hunt. They got him back as I read. I think.
Yep, he re-signed. Um, and did the Jets have losing Aaron? Did it have something to do with your pick or no?
No, I don't think they would probably get to the playoffs, but Chiefs or somebody else would have knocked them out. Dolphins or I don't know who, maybe even Jags. But it changed a lot. Like I said, I have 2 weeks ahead with the eye test. So far, yeah, Chiefs basically on experience and having Mahomes. Like I don't even have to spend a lot of words on Mahomes. Just last season, limping and winning games was enough for me to say. Dolphins have the energy. I see the chemistry. Tyreek proved he can do outside the Kansas. I have him on the fantasy, of course, too. I don't know who could sneak in. Like, help me out. Like, who do you have?
So for my AFC title game, I had the Bills and the Browns. I had the Bills because I thought after the way last season ended, I thought they would be on the tear, and it might help that when they came to last year, there was a lot of hype around them and attention because last year was the year after they had that game in Kansas City where they lost in
In
overtime.
overtime. Yeah.
So a lot of people had high
Without
expectations for them
possession.
last year. Plus, they signed Von Miller last year. So I thought this year, maybe with the expectations kind of down, they can kind of calm down and be who we thought they would be. I had the Browns because Chubb, Deshaun Watson. I thought a full offseason for Watson might help him out, and the Browns' defense would be better. But clearly, everything has went up in flames since I made my pick.
So you
But
have
hey,
to change your pick now.
I'll stick with it. I ain't gonna change nothing. I'll take my L's. Hopefully, they make a trade for like Jonathan Taylor or something and make me feel better about my pick. But yeah, the Browns. It's looking like they probably want to make the playoffs now, which probably means their coach is getting fired. But anyway, so we got our AFC title games. So who do you have for your NFC title game?
Yeah, I'll have the Niners, but I'm torn between Dallas and the Eagles. Now, Dallas has the injury. It's still early in the season. They still have a good team. I feel like I'm a quiet fan of Dak. They still probably have one of the best players in the league, Micah. Dallas is not a lovable team around people I know, but they are an American team. I'll say Dallas. Yeah, I'll say Dallas. When they say Super Bowl hangover, they're thinking about the winner and the loser in the Super Bowl.
You're just a loser,
So
hangover from
Eagles.
losing because normally it used to be like a streak for a while that teams who lost Super Bowl wouldn't even make the playoffs the next year. But yeah, that hangover it messes with teams. It's tough for them to come back. That's
Yeah,
kind of why
that's
Bengals were so impressive.
one of the reasons I'm picking Dallas, because Eagles were in the Super Bowl and blah blah blah. Yeah, exactly that. Yeah.
I'm kind of surprised you didn't say the Lions, but it's all good. I have the Cowboys and the Niners, kind of same reasons you already mentioned. So, a couple more things. So, first up, who did you have as your biggest surprise team wise this year?
Team wise, uh, dang, like surprise in a good way or a bad way?
Good way.
Good way. I'm not sure if I have any so far because I can't say I think Falcons are 2-0, but they're against the shitty teams, and I can't say they surprised. But I'll say biasy wise, I'm surprised that Jordan Love is playing well. Backers, I'm surprised. We're playing decently well, and I'm actually thinking we might make the playoffs. I'm genuinely surprised. I was like, wow, Jordan Love looks like a QB, not scared QB. He can throw the ball, he can run some. But yeah,
Yeah, you
yours?
you definitely on the Packers bandwagon the way you've been talking.
I don't know what's happening, but I like it.
I had the Falcons. Like I thought they were gonna win like 10 games this year. I personally think they're gonna run away with their division. I just like everything they got on that offense. And I know some people are down because of the quarterback, but he don't got to do much. All he got to do is not screw it up. Because I think in a couple years, probably in 2 years, if they do it right, I think people are going to talk about Atlanta the same way people right now talk about Miami and Detroit. So,
Yeah, I forgot about the Detroit, but I won't say they surprised. I expected them to be good, although they're
so
not.
who,
Some people
so who
go
do
ahead.
you have slated as going to be the biggest disappointment this year? As in a team that you think a lot of people thought highly of, but you think like, nah, they're going to disappoint everybody.
You can guess. It's the Buffalo Bills. They disappointed me every year and every year and every year. Even the documentary that I watched when they lost 4 Super Bowls in a row, that should have been telling me a lot. Yeah, it's probably the Bills. I think it's like a two-face from Batman. They have two faces, but you never know what face is going to show, but it will show sometimes, either one of them. And it's probably the Bills. They were my last season pick to win the Super Bowl.
Let me ask this question, Dan. I just want to see what your answer is going to be. If you were down to your last $100 and you had to place it all on one team to win a championship this year, and you only had two options, which would you choose? The Buffalo Bills or the Los Angeles Clippers?
Los Angeles Clippers. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, baby. Yeah, I think NBA is more wide open than the NFL.
All right.
But but it's a great question. It's one of the
You
greatest
you
questions I've been asked to ask. I'm assuming you would say Bills.
absolutely. I think Tyrod Taylor and Josh Allen really burned you, man. Ooh. Well, hopefully one day Buffalo can turn it around for you.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope so. I will be
So
happy. I like Josh.
oh, you do?
Yeah, yeah. Although
Okay.
I didn't draft him, but hey.
Yeah, you chose Trevor over him. You sure you like
Yeah,
Josh Allen?
disgusting. Yeah, I'm mad at myself. I'm
So
mad at
my biggest
myself.
disappointment was the Ravens. I feel like everybody's been excited about the wide receivers Lamar has. And I still am like,
Really? That's
uh.
funny.
So I thought, yeah, I didn't think they'd be that good this year. But the way the division's breaking, they may be the only decent team in that division now. So I'm probably gonna be wrong about that. So we have our biggest surprise, we have our biggest disappointment, we have our NFL MVPs, we have our championship games. So who do you have playing in the Super Bowl?
Yeah, it's the Niners of the Chiefs. I want to see it
So a
again.
rematch,
I want to see it again.
but with a better
And I actually
quarterback
have.
for the Niners, or no?
Yeah,
So you're
I
saying
don't
he's
know.
better
I'm
than
not
Jimmy
big.
G?
He might be, but I'm not a big fan of Purdy too.
I thought you
Remind me
were.
who did they got for the backup? They
Your
got
man Sam Darnold.
yeah, Darnold, the QB running back slash. I'm thinking, can they? I don't
What?
know. Can they pull the trigger and get a QB if something happens in the market and some team says, "Screw it, we're gonna rebuild"? But that doesn't happen often, right? In the season, trading for
No.
QB, right?
I
Yeah.
mean, I
So yeah,
think the
it's Purdy,
Niners are like, yeah, I think the Niners are like, yeah, Purdy is our guy.
and that's it. Yeah. Yeah, I'll take the Niners of over Chiefs, and I love the Chiefs. Don't
Wait a
don't
minute.
get me
Wait a minute.
wrong.
Wait a minute. What? Wait a minute. What? Say that again.
I'll take the Niners over Chiefs in the Super Bowl. But I was
You
just
said
I was just I was just examining the QB questions for the Niners, and I was thinking out loud, can they get better at that position? Although having those contracts with McCaffrey and Debo and the racist dude from the defense. And I was thinking maybe, but then I was thinking nobody probably gets traded QB wise and contending wise in the QB and during the season, in the middle of the season.
only on
But
Madden.
yeah, only a man. But I think Niners have a lot of weapons. On the other side, are you impressed with the Chiefs' defense?
Yeah, but I'm confused because, like, well, was it? Am I sure it wasn't just the Jags acting funky?
Exactly. Yeah.
But hey, I guess we'll see. They got some new pieces on that defense. If the defense starts rolling, then I mean, dang, that's like
Yeah. Then it's a wrap. Yeah.
yeah, that feels like the Warriors winning
Who is
another
back?
chip
Chris
with Poole and
Jones.
Wiggins.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
Chris
back.
Jones is. Yeah. because that was a rarely ugly game from the Chiefs. Like generally the game the Chiefs are played in against the Jags. I was tuned in late and I was like, what the hell's going on with the Chiefs and Jags? Like I am watching Jags Bills from a few years back with Bortles and who was the other QB on the other team?
Tyrod Taylor.
Tyrod Taylor, like my first playoff NFL game. 0-0. Jacksonville Bills.
Yeah, 2 years ago, if you had the Chiefs for 17 points, you feel like, oh, that's an easy win for you. Now, holding the Chiefs to 17 points means you still losing. Like, nah,
Mm-hmm.
nah,
Mm-hmm.
that's not good. But
Who do you got?
My Super Bowl matchup was Buffalo and Dallas, with the Bills winning the Super Bowl, finally getting
Oh
revenge
wow.
for the '90s. Um,
Do you think they would allow that in the script?
uh, with Diggs' injury at this point, no. I think the script makers are highly disappointed with the injury, unless that was a part of the script and I didn't know it. So, but
Is this the
shoot,
first time you're picking Bills to win it in your career?
I'm trying to think. Did I pick them last year?
No, you didn't.
What did I pick?
I think you picked the Eagles from the NFC. You were high on the Eagles before the season. You said Eagles gonna be a problem, and I think you picked the Bengals. But I'll have to re-listen to it. Yeah, I'm not sure. I think maybe we just did the power rankings too. Not sure if we did. I'll have to listen to it. But I think Eagles and the Bengals. You thought at the time, Chiefs couldn't beat them and stuff like that, and yeah, that's why I'm thinking. I was high on the Bills. Phrase was mocking me. I was like, it's a wrap. Bills are winning at everything. And I remember I was the only one.
Oh no, man. Well, it could be worse. It could be the Chargers. So, all
So
things
what's the
considered, they'll
problem?
be a.
The coach? I don't think Herbert is that bad.
The problem is their defense is awful, and that should not happen. When you are the most expensive defense in the NFL, and your head coach is a defensive guy, you're not supposed to suck on defense, and they suck on defense. So
So
I can't
something ain't
guarantee
clicking.
nobody's getting fired, but I think there's a good chance he's out of there.
Maybe they gave up on him. And it looks like they gave up on him.
I think maybe he's just not a head coach.
Oh, do you have any guys in the waiting room that are actually head coaches to replace him?
I have one, and
Is it the
he's in Washington right now.
Rivera? No,
How dare you, Dan?
Rivera?
How dare you?
I couldn't help it.
Do you know Washington's record right now is 2-0?
I love it. Commanding 2-0.
They're 2-0, right? They just scored 35 points on the Broncos. Who am I gonna give this credit to, Dan? Our main man, Eric Bieniemy.
Yeah, baby. Who
San
NFL
Diego need to
slept
stop
on
playing
for the
around
last
and hire that man. Bieniemy plus
who
Herbert, Super
NFL
Bowl.
slept on for the last 3-4 years on that man. And he'll get in your face. He's not gonna be nice to you, and he'll call you out. Yeah, that's true.
Exactly.
What about Hugh Jackson
What about him?
to be the Chargers coach?
His days are over. And if he did come back, he should be offensive coordinator, not a head coach. That was a
I was
disaster.
curious. No, I was curious about your reactions. I know
He's a good
that you.
OC. Like when he was the OC with the Bengals, he had things moving and shaking. But he's not a head coach. No.
What do you think it's missing to be a head coach? What do you think he's missing to be a head coach? Just like Hackett too, right?
Sometimes it's just overwhelming because you're no longer overseeing one side of the football. You're overseeing every single thing.
Every single,
Oh,
it's too much. Yeah.
yes. And when you have to prepare everybody, including coaches and everybody under you, every single week, it shows. Like when he was there with Cleveland, going 0-16, like he just couldn't handle it. He's much more of a guy who can handle a single department, a single side of the ball. He can't oversee the whole thing. He can't be the CEO. Like, nah,
Yeah,
you can't do that.
yeah. What was the name of that fraud coach who was the coach of Johnny Manziel in the college? Then I realized, wow, he was the coach in the NFL.
Your man Cliff.
Yeah, that's a bad coach, right?
Yes. And the thing
That's
is,
a bad.
he was never a good head coach anywhere. So
Wait,
he
he
needed to
was
work his
with
way up.
Arizona. Yeah, he was with Arizona. Yeah.
Yes. His first
Should
time as a
we?
head coach anywhere.
Oh wow, that's amazing. Should we wrap it up with our guys, your brother and our guy Fraze, Broncos and Giants, or should we just leave them be how they are? I know it's not funny, but I can't. I know.
Then we're going to have plenty of time to talk about those teams because they're going to be right at the top of the draft.
You were telling me last season about the Giants. Don't buy them, Dan. Don't like they're not good as you think they are. Last
I told you
season.
that. I told you that about the Broncos too.
And you told me that Broncos are the last season, and you said this season don't expect much. Frey said it's the defense. A lot of people are calling for Russell Wilson head if they go on 0-3, and I'm not saying he's playing bad, but if you're an 0-3, 0-4, you basically don't need Russell Wilson anymore, right? In a sense, you
When they
try
gave
to,
him all that money,
yeah,
what are they going to
you
do?
try to get him, yeah, you got to get him off the contract somehow if you can and get him off the salary if you can somehow with a trade. That's what I'm saying. But with the Giants,
And nobody traded for that deal. Usually, I convince that man to retire, go home, be a family man. That's your only hope. Every time he walks into that building, just say, you know what, Russ? Don't you want to spend more time with your family and kids? Just pour on his heart, man. That's the only way out.
yeah, because Denver should think about getting Caleb in the draft if they can get number one. But of course, they're not gonna draft, and Peyton won't lose the games.
Hey, they might have a
Uh,
shot. The way they looking right now. There's going to be a
yep.
few teams hunting for Caleb.
Giants, Broncos. Yep. Yeah. And the crazy part, they have both QBs on a huge deal. So yeah, that's what connects them. I'm not saying they took. Did they took on the Wilson deal
Arizona,
or
too.
Kyler? Oh shit, yeah. Wait, did they took on Russell deal or they? I think they even took him and signed
Yeah, they
added him
traded him.
to.
They traded for him. Then they give him a new deal.
Ah shit. Sorry, phrase, but he's optimistic even after 0-2. Yeah, but
I hope so.
I can see Broncos winning few games more than last season, but I don't see the Giants at all. I think
Well,
Giants will fall apart during the season. Like Jones is mediocre, Saquon is on the last year. Okay, he'll play for himself, but I don't. I felt last season's few wins were just lucky and flukish. Correct me if I'm
so
wrong.
do you
I'll
know
watch.
who Denver plays next week?
Don't say the Giants.
No,
Okay.
they play. They play
Uh,
Miami.
Chiefs. Oh, it could be a beatdown.
So how about this, then? I'm gonna tell you who they face for the rest of October,
Oh
and
boy.
I want you to tell me because you said they're gonna win more games than they did last year. They won 5 last year.
So we need
This
6.
next stretch, this next stretch of games is gonna tell you how many they're gonna win this year. They face Miami next week. They followed up facing the Bears. Then they face the Jets. They face
2.
the Chiefs. Then Green Bay. Then the Chiefs again. How many wins do you have?
2 with a potential win over Packers or Dolphins. So I'll say 3.
So you
I
got
think
3
they can.
wins.
Yeah.
So they'll be 3-5. So they'll be 3-5 heading to the back stretch. Do you want to know the back stretch?
Yeah.
Buffalo, Minnesota,
Loss. Win.
Cleveland.
Win.
Dang, that's 5. They're 5-6. Houston,
Win.
6-6. Chargers,
Yes. Loss. The Chargers will have a new
Lions,
coach by then. Loss.
Lions,
Win.
Lions.
No,
Okay,
2 times Lions?
no,
Yeah, because you
Which
said
points?
Lions. No, Lions
Oh, I'm sorry.
loss. I said. Yeah, you said 2 times. Lions only loss. Yeah, loss after loss.
Patriots,
Loss.
Chargers,
Win.
Raiders.
A loss.
You wild, Dan. They winning 5 games this year. Don't play with me.
How much do I have? 8.
That was 7.
They got Peyton, Sean. He should be getting the few of them. I hope
They
he'll
went. They
learn
went
something
2. They 0-2, and both were at home. They lost to the Raiders in Washington. Them boys
against the
winning 5 games
Commanders.
this year. Dolphins gonna beat the crap out of them.
They should have been 2-0, and they would have some hopes for the finals. Yeah, that's true. Should we give Giants more than 5 wins?
Why?
I mean, I'm just asking.
I mean, they got 1 so far, so I guess anything is possible. But I mean, if you thought the Denver schedule was bad, their schedule's even worse.
So 5 it is. If they get to 5. Yeah, that's funny. So
I tell you right now, there's a good chance we don't see them win another game until the end of October. I'm going to tell you that here's your schedule for the rest of the month, okay?
Okay.
Of October. Seattle, Miami, Buffalo, Washington, the Jets. The only one I see is the Jets. What you say?
Seattle? Can you say it again?
They face Seattle, Miami, Buffalo, Washington, and the Jets.
You don't think they can beat Seattle?
No.
Yeah, they're better coached. Seattle is better coached.
I see one win maybe. That's the
The
Jets.
only thing is the Jets, but that's even 50-50, yeah, because Jets are tricky.
These guys might not win a game until November. Another game.
Wow. At least they're gonna get that. At least they got that comeback. At least they can say we won 1 game in the season. Yeah, who do you think will have a better record, Jets or Giants at the end of the season?
Jets.
Oh boy, shots fired. Imagine that. Your QB legend Hall of Famer gets hurt after 3 snaps, and you still can't get better than your.
Jets are going to have like 4 or 5 wins because their defense. The Giants, if the Giants get the 3 wins, I think we should do a podcast celebrating this season.
Deal.
You remember this, Dan?
Yeah, we have to write this down. Celebration of Giants 3 wins special episode. Definitely.
And I'd love to know who those 3 wins are going to be against. I mean, those 2 wins. Because I don't see it.
Somebody will want to trade everybody off the team.
Dan, you take out the Arizona game, just the Niners game, just the Cowboys game. They gave up, where does it say it? They gave up 70 points and they only scored 24. You trying to tell me they're going to win more than 3 games this year?
No, I'm fascinated with the 0 against the. If I'm a Giant, like I said, if I'm a Giants fan, if I can't score a touchdown or field goal, then I don't know, man. Then we have a problem. Like 40-0 first week. I know it's the.
And they barely got to 12 last night.
Yeah, it was 30.
It was hard for them to get to 12.
Yeah, in the third quarter, yeah. It wasn't easy, yeah. First 2 quarters, field goals, and then a touchdown, and
the Niners didn't even play well.
And that's saying a lot.
You see me total yards they had? 150 yards, man.
Mm-hmm.
Most offenses get that in the middle of the second quarter. That for the entire game.
How many Debo had? Debo didn't play?
Yeah, Debo played. He had like 100 something.
No, Debo had 2 yards.
What are you talking about?
I'm looking at some yard stat. Debo Samuel, right?
Yeah. You must put somebody like rushing.
Oh, okay.
Because
Yeah, but with the yards only, it says McCaffrey 84 and Mitchell 42, but Debo 2. That's funny. Even Sam Darnold played.
Yeah, Debo. Yeah, you must be talking about running.
Yeah, running.
Yeah, because he had 130 receiving yards. Debo.
Yeah, I'll have to go to ESPN. I have SofaScore. That's bad.
But did you hear me? He had 130 receiving yards. The Giants had 150 total yards. 3 games, Dan. Find those other two for me.
Seattle somehow. Seattle somehow. Geno Smith will maybe give the way a win.
You know what you know what New York fans were saying today? They're saying, you know what? I can't wait till the Knicks start playing. They're looking at the Knicks
Oh
schedule
boy,
like, yeah, we
that's
waiting.
travesty, man.
Hey, Brunson, he got to save the city because Daniel Jones sure isn't.
Yeah, I
So
don't like
sad.
Brunson. I don't like Brunson on FIBA World Cup. They don't look good. That's not gonna be good for some guys that they were there. It will take a toll on them. That was a brag, but we'll
If,
talk
if
about that.
if New York fans had their choice, they would have sent Daniel Jones to FIBA instead. Get him out the country.
Yeah, British will take him. They can mix him with Daniel James, the winger for Leeds or Swansea. He's a Welsh guy. Just change the last names.
Is there any
Should we
football
wrap it
games
up?
you're interested in this weekend?
Let me check just in case. I've been kind of busy.
I know which one I'm gonna be watching.
Try to guess if you know me well.
If you're the person I think you are, you should probably watch Detroit and Atlanta. But knowing
Yeah,
you,
after. Okay.
you probably gonna watch the Texans and the Jags.
No, you were right the first time. Knowing after 2 weeks, two exciting teams, two dynamic teams. I think I gave up on Jags last week a bit, but
Dang.
I'll keep an eye on them. But the most beautiful thing is NFL Red Zone that I can watch everything. I usually was focused on one game, but that kind of can be a drag too. And I didn't usually pick a good game, but NFL Red Zone gives me everything. Yeah, I love the coverage. But I think yeah, you're right on the first one. Lions, Falcons. They're the hot teams that I like. New upcoming. That can be intriguing. Where are the Jags? The same time, Jaguars. Yeah, I don't care about the Texans at all, and that's what probably I don't want to pay attention to Jaguars. And I'll keep
Hey, you can
my
see the
eyes
rookie.
on. Not really, not yet. We'll see. We'll see. I'm here for the entertainment, and I think Bijan and I don't know Gibbs and baby Brady Goff, they can give me that. Yeah.
You know who we didn't talk
Commanders.
about? Your man Baker.
Yeah, he's like resurrected Baker, small QB, stepping into the
Two one
shoes
zero.
of
Damn.
like 2-0, stepping into the shoes of Tom Brady. We might see an MVP incoming if he starts winning.
Okay, you get in
I
the show now.
think. Okay, I didn't continue yet. Let's wrap it up, and we'll try to after week 3. We'll be back with our thoughts on week 3. We're just gonna talk week 3, and I hope no injuries for week 3, please. Enough. Later, people.
Mm.